Once we understand that chair sitting is not natural, the question becomes, what do we do to make chair sitting functional, safe, it's not going to damage the body? Look at a skeleton and notice the sitting bones are here. The tailbone is suspended. So if you're sitting on the sitting bones, the tailbone is lifted. I hope you can all see that with the video. The tailbone is suspended. So when you're in a chair that is too soft, too cushiony, it has foam rubber, a soft sofa, you're sinking into the chair so that the tailbone is being pushed. The tailbone is the rudder of the pelvis. It's the bottom chakra. It's connection to the spine and weight bearing. And your tailbone has a great intelligence that knows how to protect your spine and your low back and your posture and your breathing and everything. The tailbone is very smart. And so it's very unwise to compress the tailbone and jam it into a soft sofa like most people do when they sit in soft chairs. The only reason we do this is because most of us have a tailbone that is so numbed down, so injured, so out of our self-image that we can't even sense our own tailbone. Moshe Feldenkrais, who started this work that I do, he did a TV interview back in the 70s called Medicine Man. And he came on the set, and there was this big soft sofa, overstuffed sofa. And the guy interviewing was sitting in a big stuffy sofa chair like this, smoking a pipe. And he said, "Sit down." And Moshe Feldenkrais, he sat down on the armrest, a big covered armrest like this, which looked kind of weird on camera. And so they go, "No, sit down, make yourself comfortable." And Feldenkrais said, "I am comfortable." The man asked him, "Why don't you want to sit in the sofa?" So Feldenkrais looked at this guy and he said, "Because if I sit in the sofa like you, I'm going to have shoulder pain, neck pain, my back is going to hurt right here, I'm going to have knee pain on the left and ankle pain on the right, just like you have." And the guy said, "How did you know that?" And of course, when they broadcast this on TV, but they cut all that out. So that wasn't on there. So the point is, if you sit in a soft chair, a bucket seat, these are not healthy. A bucket seat immobilizes the pelvis. You have no ability to look up and roll the pelvis or turn and rotate the spine. Everything is fixed. So you learn to disconnect your upper body from your pelvis. Your pelvis is out of the equation. I had some 20-year-old kid. He was a USC student. He had disabling back pain. He couldn't even study. He had to take a semester off. His mother brought him to me. So I have him sit in a chair, and I say to him, "We're going to play a little game. I'm going to pretend I have a sword. I'm going to strike you." So this is a game that Feldenkrais invented. He said, if you do this game 1 minute a day, you will have the best posture of all your friends, or if you have a child, that child will have the best posture in school within a month. 1 minute a day, doing this. So you defend yourself. Like strike here, like this, like with the leg. So you take anybody, and they're going to start to mobilize from the pelvis. It's a deep instinct to fight, to defend ourselves, like this. Everything moves. The knees go apart. The pelvis walks back. There's a global awareness. The skeleton is stacked. And this is like powerful, like samurai warrior chair sitting. Instead of this knees together, collapse, sit up straight, frontal thing. So once again, it comes down to a chair like this, hard flat with a little cushioning, maybe. That's all I have at home. It may take you some time to get used to it, but I would recommend you buy a hard flat wooden stool, start using it as much as you can, or the floor. That's the best thing of all. If you can stay on the floor, you're good. Let me tell you now some of the skills. If you have to use a chair, what do? How do you make a chair work instead of being immobilized and get in trouble as we grow older? Well, the first thing is hard, flat wooden surface. Second thing is you need the hips a little higher than the knees so that the pelvis can roll forward. If the chair is too small and then the legs are too high, it pushes you back. You don't have the postural support. So a person who's smaller, sit in a chair that's tall like I do, and it rolls the pelvis forward, it gives you postural support, but that's a little too high. You don't need it that high. That's the first principle of chair sitting is hard, flat surface and the right height. That's the foundation. If you're going to sit in a chair many hours, I think the third principle, if you want to put a third principle in, is never use a swivel office desk chair. That's my personal pet peeve. I worked for 10 years in the post office, personnel, typing, filing in a chair like that. And everything is going together. Nothing turns, nothing moves. Everything is so supported. It makes you very incompetent as far as self-image, body. You just become a head and hands. That's all it is, head and hands. So that's not good movement, that's not good posture. Although it may look like good posture because you're so supported, it's all artificial. Second thing about sitting posture is you need to learn to sense those two sitting bones. The sitting bones I've shown you on the skeleton. So when you're sitting on a chair with a hard surface, it's quite easy to feel the sitting bones. If you can't sense them, put your hands under your buttocks and sit on your sitting bones and feel it with your hands. Some people have to do this because they're so oblivious to the pelvis and what's there. Sense the sitting bone. This is the support in sitting. That has to be clear. If the skeletal support down to the sitting bone is not clear because of a bucket seat or a soft sofa, what happens is the shoulders don't know where to rest because the shoulders say, there's no hard surface to rest on down here. I can tell you, I got to stay holding up. Belly tightens, floor of the pelvis tightens because there's no support. The skeletally perceived support. And you have to have a firm surface chair to get that. So there are many kinds of chairs. And I think the bottom line is don't pay attention to all that. Remember, piano bench is best. Hard flat bench is best. Look at the Roman Colosseum. Bench. Look at a throne from ancient Egypt, the king. A bench. That's the best kind of chair. Now people will tell me, it's too pokey. I can't sit in a chair for more than 2 minutes. I say, okay, sit in the chair 2 minutes. 2 minutes is good. Next week, go to 3 minutes. And within a year, you'll be up to 50 minutes comfortable because you do get used to it. You get used to it. And you need a tailbone that has the ability to hang. So you don't want a big, soft chair. You know, in the 1950s and before that, I think all the cars, they had these firm bench seats. These people didn't have so many soft chairs, and they understood to drive a car, you have to have a chair that supports the sitting bones, the tailbone suspended, and you can feel the whole body move as you drive. And then somewhere in the 60s, you see this brand new invention, this great ergonomic thing, bucket seat. When I first saw that in the newspaper, I said, what? It didn't feel right. The first intuition was no. But then everybody wants a bucket seat now it's the normal thing. And I tell all my clients, go to your car, measure the car seat, cut a board to fit your car seat, put the board on the car seat, and then you can drive your car 6 hours, 10 hours with no fatigue. Turns out most of the trouble and fatigue in driving a car is the bucket seat. There's no perceived skeletal support. The shoulders lift. Everything is like tense to drive. You're lifting yourself up because there's no support perceived. It's too good. The support is too immobile. It's not dynamic. So once again, back to the hard, flat bench. That's the basic thing you have to keep coming back to if you want to have good sitting posture. The material presented here is for information only. It summarizes the main tools that I have personally used for about 25 years as a Feldenkrais teacher. I've worked with many clients with serious medical issues and other people, and I found these ideas are safe and simple. They're effective, but common sense dictates that you need your doctor's permission. If you have any questions, if there's any pain, you shouldn't do a movement. You should always be gentle, go slowly. If you have any doubt about the safety of a movement, respect that and don't do it. You can see a professional teacher of movement, an Alexander or Feldenkrais teacher. These people are very good. They've studied posture for a lifetime. You can trust them, and they can look at you, and in a glance, they can tell you what is going on in your body and what you need to do particularly to help yourself. And this can save you many years of futile effort and struggling, doing everything or trying to accomplish something you don't really need to accomplish in the way of posture. When you have a professional, experienced person looking at you and you follow their advice, it can save you lots of effort and time.